Today we have the new Dolce & Gabbana I Dare You. Is this thing a weapon? 12 hypnotizing shades applied with the new Sonia G Traditions Series Select 2024 eyeshadow brushes. Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we're going to look at two new offerings, and we're going to fit them in nicely together, or so I compliment myself and say. We are going to look at the Dolce & Gabbana I Dare You eyeshadow palette. Have you guys seen this thing? It's either gorgeous or a little bit ostentatious. You can kind of say that about anything from Dolce & Gabbana, to be honest with you. And we are also going to look at all four of the new, they're really lovely, Sonia G, I have four of them here, Traditions Series Select 2024 4 eyeshadow brush collection that has just been released at Beautylish, and we're going to talk all about them, and then we're going to use them in conjunction with one another. Like I said, I compliment myself on that one. That goes well together, Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca. So I'm very, very glad to have you here. Don't forget that you can also see my content over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. Okay, but let's get started here. Don't forget that if you're in a hurry today, I'm releasing this on a Sunday, so hopefully you have time to kick back and relax with me. But if not, and if you only need to see one thing, please make use of the timestamps down below. They're listed in the description bar, but you can also scroll past them here on the video itself, and hopefully that will help you get to what you need quickly. And then it lets me talk at length about the other things, and, pleases both sides. I think it's a good compromise. All right, well, let's get started. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about is this eyeshadow palette from Dolce & Gabbana right here. And as I said, I don't know, you guys have seen this thing. I mean, it's highly editorial, so I'm sure you've seen it. This is the I Dare You 12 hypnotizing shades from Dolce & Gabbana. It's $89, of course. It's Dolce & Gabbana. I mean, when you talk about luxury, you guys, it's tough for me because where does that end? Oh, you bought a $6,000 Chanel handbag. I can't do that. Some people can. Good for them. But, others say, why would you do that when you could buy a such and such for $129? Okay, well, you can also go to Target and buy one for $29, or you can put all your things in a hefty bag and throw it over your shoulder, or just carry it in your hands, or buy clothes with big pockets. Where does it end? So, this is luxury. I do say that with more than 1 ounce of skepticism because, pardon the repeat here, I've said this before, I do side-eye luxury brands that get into beauty. Not Chanel, not Dior. They've always been in beauty and perfume and such fragrance. But places like Dolce & Gabbana, they've done fragrance for quite a while, but you know what I mean, Louis Vuitton, stuff like that. I do sometimes give them the side eye because I wonder why they're here. Like, why are you in our beauty house, fashion house? What are you doing? What are you trying to get? I feel manipulated, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of side eye them a little bit. So we'll see if it's any good. It sure looks pretty, but it also announces itself brightly. I mean, look at this case. So let's talk about the case. So we have the DG Dolce Gabbana, and then this comes separately and you attach it. And this forms the function of, I don't know, maybe we should have a pole. This is what? So I could walk around like this, like look at my eyeshadow palette. I'm using it like a handbag. It's just very editorial. This serves absolutely no purpose. Sometimes I joke about some of these containers a weapon. Maybe this is like some sort of a nunchuck. I don't know. By the way, disclaimer, do not use your Dolce & Gabbana eyeshadow palette as a nunchuck. Thank you. Okay, so when we look inside the palette, it's nice and secure. And when we look inside of it, first of all, there's this plastic thing I took out that has the names of all the shades. So when we do the demo, I'll be able to put that on the screen. How helpful. We've got this lovely mirror. It's very nice. And then we've got these shades right here. You've probably seen them. Very editorial, so they've been editorialized. We've got 12, as they say, hypnotizing shades with innovative formulas and special finishes that mix and match and are made in Italy. Just like Dolce & Gabbana itself. They're really pretty. I'm really taken by this shade right here. I'm going to put my finger on it and then move it. That shade right there. Because it is not, these are just glitter bombs right here, to be quite honest with you. But this is really kind of a really cool duochrome. And I like the sparkle on this top one. And I actually like the colors of the mattes. The blue is not my thing. But if you liked blue. These here are just kind of glittery. They've got that glitter texture that I found first. I've mentioned this before in that Too Faced. Sorry, Dolce & Gabbana, but Too Faced used it first. How embarrassing for Dolce & Gabbana. Too Faced had that Italian Spritz palette, and then I saw it, I remember, in some luxury palettes afterwards. They almost have a sticky feel to them, almost like the glitters combined with a little bit of a glitter glue. It's not uncomfortable, but they stick. They don't really fall all over the face. But they still are highly glittery, and I can see if you have contacts that you'd be worried. Even if there's no reason to be worried, so we don't really want psychological fears out of an $89 eyeshadow palette, right? Okay, so let's go ahead, before we talk about the Sonia G brushes, don't worry, that's coming up and time-stamped, but let's go ahead and just kind of take a look at these and see what we think of the shades, and we'll do it in two different lights. Here it is first in studio lighting. Here we go. There are those shades. I just did them across. I didn't try to I try to usually do things the way they are laid out in the pan, but I mean, forget it. That's ridiculous. And you know, really, there's so many of us, and I think of our long-time community member, Tracy W., who really gets annoyed. I don't blame her. If things are in a weird order, I suffer from that a lot myself. And then a lot of you guys out there don't like wasted space. So, you know, give a note down below if you find this intriguing or annoying, the way this is laid out. I'm kind of going on the annoying side. I think the shades are really pretty, but I don't know if I love the layout. Please comment below. We're a community, so I'm curious. Meanwhile, let's take this outside into the warm California sunshine. See if you can see it a little better out there. Yeah, there's no doubt those shades are beautiful. They're sure glitzy. It's kind of funny because when we do a really neutral palette, I always say to you guys that everyone's yawning and saying, boring. Well, this is certainly not boring, but is it wearable? Or just the matte shades? Well, we'll see. We'll do two different eye looks. But when we do those eye looks, we are going to be using a new set of brushes from the lovely Sonia G. We're going to look here at the Traditions Series Select 2024. I keep holding up this one, but we've got all four. And I figured we'd do the eyeshadow palette with these, and then we can talk about what to do and what to use them for and all that. Be kind of fun. There's 4 limited edition brushes. Now, sometimes Sonia G says that she'll be able to bring stuff back. These are most definitely limited editions. They're made in Kumano, Japan, with natural bristles and Kiyaki wood handles. You can buy them solo, and every time I use them, I will let you know the prices. Generally, I will say for the set of all 4, it's $200, but for each brush is anywhere from like $48 to $51. So actually, let's just mention it then and leave it at that. Set is $200, each brush about $50 each. These are natural bristles, Kiyaki wood handles with a Tonoko polish on it. And they have white Canadian squirrel hair they're made with, white Seikoho goat hair, blue squirrel, there's a blue squirrel, and yellow Canadian squirrel. Somewhere there's a rainbow of squirrels. I know, not really, but it does sound that way, doesn't it? Wouldn't it be fun to see the squirrel rainbow? Skittles commercial needs to happen there. So we'll be working with those, and they are beautiful. Now, I know part of you might be a little bit confused, and we just have a new release from Sonia G. Yeah, it looks like, you know, for a while there, after all the lockdowns and craziness that this world went through, remember that? Right? It seems like long ago, doesn't it? My kids say that they've forgotten about it already. I have not. I am much more scarred by that time period. And of course, if you had health issues or loved ones did, you're even more so tied to that period. But afterwards, we had these crazy supply delays and supply demand problems. And I think that Sonia G, who has these little tiny artisanal places working on these really artisanal, beautiful handcrafted brushes, you know, it got caught up in that delay. So a lot of that seems to be coming through now. And this one is limited edition. These are very special. Like I said, joking aside, the yellow Canadian squirrel and the blue and the white squirrel hair and all of that, all these mixes, these are all natural hair brushes. They are really beautiful and very precious. And they are out at Beautylish now. So look for the Tradition Series Select 2024. I will link that below. I will link this Dolce & Gabbana palette below, as well as information on giving super thanks. I really thrive on that on this channel. I spend a lot on makeup. I wish it were all PR. Darn it, it's not. I do spend a lot on makeup, so I always appreciate that. Plus, we have on the go a $4.99 a month, members only, where we do lives every week just for our members. It's so much fun, and we would love to have you there. But that information, as well as purchasing information on all this cool stuff, is down below. Okay, let's get to work with these, shall we? Let's do it. We've looked at the swatches. We looked at everything. The other thing I'm employing is something really fun. We're going to probably use this a lot today too. This is from Sonia G, but it is a little towel that you can wipe your brushes off on. Mine's a little bit stained, probably needs to be washed. Sorry guys. They wash and lay out, dry overnight just beautifully actually. Although I do know people put them in the washer, hang them to dry, but you know. You can buy cheapo ones. I have the Sonia G ones because I'm bougie like that. But you know, if you can wipe off your brushes and use them again, it's better than washing these natural hair brushes all the time. You know, if you can avoid it. If you can avoid it. I do wash mine a little too much because I don't come on here with dirty brushes for a myriad of reasons, as you can imagine. Okay, well, let's do it. Why are we putting this off, Rebecca? What's your problem? All right, let's go. So we're going to start off here. Let's do two different eye looks. And I am going to be using and wiping off my brushes a lot, but I would like to start with the T3. This is the crease, blend, and lay down brush of all of them. And it's $51 after I said I wasn't going to say the price. And I'm going to go in. Oh, this chain, can I just give me a moment while I take this off? This thing's going to be clanking and moving. I took off the nunchuck, honestly. Okay, now can we have some peace and quiet? Okay, so we're going to use this T3 brush and we're going to do two different eye looks. So I'm going to start here and I'm just going to go over this eye. Let me say, both in swatching and already I can tell you on the eye, the payoff of these mattes is spectacular. And you know what else is nice about it? There's a nice payoff and they're pretty colors. You know, usually there's a nice payoff and it's a cream or an espresso. I think that's really, really pretty. I'm going to flip over the brush because we haven't used the other side of it. And then I'm going to go in here with this and I am going to put this down here into the crease. Again, lovely color payoff. Isn't that nice? I will be using this on the other eye too, but we will wipe it off on the towel. And I go in circular motions and a little bit over the crease because I do have hooded eyes. So pretty just for a matte. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the T4. The T4 is a medium pencil brush, $51. Very, very pretty. And I'm going to go into the same shade, trust me, that I just used on the crease. And I'm just going to go underneath the eye there. And that is with the T4. All right, now for this eye look right here, let's get into the fun shades. Let's see, what should we do? Well, whatever we do, let's use the T2. This is a nice lay down brush. It's thick and it's soft. It's $48. The TS2, I didn't mean to call it the T2, the TS2. And for that, I want to go into something a little bit fun. Oh, I'm so relieved not to have that chain hanging. Let's go into this here. Now this is that kind of glitter that I told you has a little bit of a stick-to-itiveness. Let's see if it works with the brush. Oh, it does. Isn't that pretty? And it does. It feels almost like it has a little bit of glue to it. And it's actually quite nice. Now, as you see, let me back away. Let me show you here any fallout. I see one little bit of fallout here, and I can brush that away easily. But it is not raining down over my face. Just right there. Flick, it's gone. And of course, some of you, there's the big debate. Do you do your foundation before or after? I like to do my foundation before, but if you're someone who does it after, that's going to be easier for you. And I think that's really, really pretty. But I'm kind of dying to do something with this right here. Now, what we haven't mentioned is that down here, we have this kind of liquid. This is kind of a creamy liner shade, so you can line with that. You could do kind of a cat eye with that. Should we try it or am I crazy? Or a little bit of both. This is the TS1. This is the fourth brush that we haven't used that yet. This is the Smudger Diffuser. Well, I'm not going to try a cat eye. Don't get excited, let me tell you. Nothing to be excited about there. But if I go into this here, I could go ahead and just kind of press in at the lash line. This would be useful actually, especially if you like to do a cat eye. See, I'm just kind of pressing in at the lash line with this beautiful brush, which is a Smudger Diffuser. And it's just going on beautifully. There we go. And see how everything is just a little bit more defined? If I were brave, I could do, you know, a little bit of a winged liner there. I'm not brave. I'm neither brave nor winged. But that's really pretty. All right, now we're going to take these brushes and we're going to clean them off a little bit because they clean off just beautifully. That's in my face. They clean off just beautifully. There's the number TS4. There's our medium pencil brush, all nice and clean. What really needs to be cleaned is our T3. If you do not have one of these, there we go. Watch that T3. I'm doing it very gently. It might not appear so on camera. Trust me, I'm very gentle here. Look at that come off. Look at that on the T3. Don't look at the old stains. My staff is untidy. My staff doesn't realize it. Okay, look at that. Ready to go again. All right, let's clean off our TS2, our lay down brush, which is very nice and thick. And then we're going to try to clean off our TS1, which actually has, my hand was starting to hurt, which actually has some of this kind of cream liner on it. Look at that. Came right off. See it on there? Right off. Beautiful. And ready to be used again. All right, let's do a different look on the other eye. See, normally I'm switching brushes, but I wanted to show you, you can give your brushes a little bit of zest and life. Here we go with our TS3, all perfect and ready to go again. Let's do something a little more fun. We used these shades before. Let's take this shade here, okay? It's kind of a violet-y shade, and let's just, we're gonna do something crazy, guys. Let's just do something in this violet-y shade, violet type shade, in the inner corner of the eye. Let's just go crazy here, right? Stay with me. And I want to leave the rest of the eye totally blank, okay? And then I'm going to take this brush and I want to just go in here and see what happens. And just do it all over the eye. Including, I'm going to put that shade, I'm taking this brush here, and I'm putting it all the way even over the pink shade that we did. And I'm hoping it kind of picks up some of it, okay? What do you think? That's kind of fun, isn't it? This is a very fun palette. It's a very young palette. It's a very fun palette. The duochromes here are making it appear, that shade that I just put over the entire mobile lid, it's making it appear like it's more than one shade, or like I spent more time on it, and I most certainly did not. Okay, and let's use, let's go back here to our pencil brush, and let's go under. I haven't touched that aqua blue shade, guys. You know I hate that shade. I am not an aqua blue person. Okay. Did I make it worse or better? I'm just playing. And then let's take our TS3 and let's go into this shade here. And just put it just in the center right there. Flip it over, go into this shade here and put it just in the inner corner. I'm just having fun. Oh my goodness. So obviously I'm putting together too much at once, too much of a good thing. As I always tell you guys, and I'm a broken record, not on purpose, we just have new people joining us all the time. So I kind of have to be a broken record. I am a beauty editor, a journalist, not a makeup artist. So I know a lot about the background of the makeup and the makeup artists and the houses and the brands. But in terms of applying makeup, I'm just everyday, So we're just testing out how it works. I leave the artistry to you because I know how creative you guys are. Much more creative than I am in that sense, right? So I just, just trying to make something fun. But for me, I would definitely leave out that darker underneath. I was just playing around. But I really love that kind of pinky violet here. And then that duochrome, triochrome, whatever that is, all over the rest of the eye. I think that's pretty stunning. This is a very fun palette. If you are looking for a fun palette that actually works, is reliable, has payoff, and is exciting, I think this is a great bet for you, but for the price, it's definitely expensive, but they perform really, really well, and I really am interested to read below to see what you guys think of the case, because you're going to kind of either love it, well, I guess there's three, love it, hate it, or just tolerate it. I think I'm actually in the tolerate category, not the hate category. Some of you are going to have very strong feelings about it though. And this dangly piece of some sort of jewelry. It's an earring. Oh, we could have a pretty earring that hangs off of that. I should put it on. So let me do the outro like that maybe, huh? Okay, so now that hurts. Okay, maybe not. Okay, we tried it. Don't do that. It's not jewelry. All right, this is where you guys come in. We are a community. Tell me what you think. Did you pick up these Sonia G brushes? Ask me any questions and comparisons you need on the Sonia G brushes, because they are similar to some in her collection, but they're not really similar in terms of the bristle ingredients and such. So if you have any questions on that, you can ask me that below. And if you need any comparisons, either with Sonia G brushes, Sonia G to Refer, whatever, you can just go ahead and ask me that below or over on Instagram. I use my Instagram to do those kind of swatch requests and comparison requests. Same thing with the Dolce Gabbana palette. If you are interested in any sort of, it wouldn't be cross-brand. I don't think I own any other Dolce Gabbana eyeshadows. I don't. But if you have any that are cross-brand or bright colors or things like that, super, super happy to do that for you. I've got to be catching up with a few of those requests that I have actually had along the way with some Patrick Ta and whatnot. So I'm behind on that. So I'm going to get caught up on that and any of your new requests. Plus, I just want to see what you have to say down below. Don't forget to subscribe. We are almost at 20,000 subscribers, which I am very proud of, and we're going to do a big kind of Q&A, ask me anything. I should be nervous, but I don't have anything to hide. I do want to make sure though that you subscribe, that you share and like and all of that fun stuff. And hey, I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Get those comparison requests in.